Intro content. This is where the 12 laws of karma come in. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why it feels like life keeps score? Why some people who do wrong eventually face setbacks, while those who stay true to kindness seem to be lifted higher? That's not luck, and it's not coincidence. It's the design of the universe under God's watchful eye. This is where the 12 laws of karma come in. These aren't just mystical sayings or abstract ideas. They're timeless principles, echoing both spiritual wisdom and biblical truth that remind us every choice carries weight. Whether it's the words we speak, the thoughts we entertain, or the actions we take, everything plants a seed, and sooner or later, the harvest arrives. In this series, we'll explore all 12 laws, from the great law of cause and effect to the law of creation, humility, growth, responsibility, and beyond. Each one reveals how justice, balance, and purpose are woven into the very fabric of life. So if you've ever felt wronged or wondered whether your goodness really matters, stay tuned. Because these laws prove one thing: nothing is wasted, and in the end, justice always prevails. The great law: you reap what you sow. You ever notice how life has this way of circling back? Like when someone cuts corners or mistreats others, sooner or later, that same energy boomerangs right back at them. It's not luck. It's not random. It's a universal law written into the fabric of existence. Main content. The first principle of karma is called the Great Law. Whatever you put out into the world eventually finds its way back to you. Think of it like planting seeds. If you sow kindness, patience, and love, over time those same blessings will return to you, often multiplied. But if you scatter cruelty, lies, or jealousy, don't be surprised when life serves you the bitter fruit of those very choices. This isn't about instant payback. The universe works patiently, weaving every word, action, and even hidden thought into a greater design. The Bible echoes this truth. Whoever digs a pit may fall into it. You can't expect roses from planting thorns. The chosen ones, those who walk in integrity, don't waste energy on revenge. They trust the process, knowing that while harm rebounds on the wrongdoer, their goodness will circle back as blessings. The law of creation. Thought and actions create reality. Ever look around at your life and wonder, how did I end up here? Here's the truth. Life doesn't just happen to us. We're not passengers on some random ride. We're builders, and every thought, every choice, every ounce of energy we give off is laying the bricks of our reality. Main content. The second law of karma is the law of creation. It tells us that our outer world is a mirror of our inner world. If your heart and mind are full of bitterness, envy, or fear, you're basically designing a cage for yourself, one made out of negativity. But if you focus on faith, resilience, and purpose, your life begins to open up like a garden in bloom. Scripture backs this up too. As I have seen, those who plow evil and sow trouble will reap the same. In other words, your mindset sets the tone for everything that follows. The chosen ones understand this. Even when life throws them storms, they use those challenges to create growth, to strengthen their spirit, and to build a life aligned with peace and vision. The law of humility. You must accept the truth before you can change. Let's be real. Nobody in America likes admitting they're wrong. We're taught to push harder, to prove ourselves right, to never back down. But here's the kicker. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Denial doesn't make the truth disappear. It just delays your growth. Main content. The third law of karma is the law of humility. It reminds us that real change only begins when we recognize reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. People who hurt others often refuse to admit their mistakes. They hide behind excuses, blame everyone else, and keep repeating the same destructive patterns. Pride may feel powerful in the moment, but eventually it cracks, leaving only disappointment. The Bible warns us too. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Without humility, transformation is impossible. The chosen ones live differently. They acknowledge their flaws, confront their weaknesses, and choose to learn from their struggles. Instead of pretending to be perfect, they grow stronger by being honest with themselves. Humility isn't weakness, it's the doorway to becoming better. And those who can't humble themselves? They stay stuck in the same painful cycles, spinning in circles while life passes them by. The law of progress. Change starts from within. You ever notice how a lot of people think life will get better if they just land that dream job, buy the big house, or control everyone around them? Truth is, none of that works. You can swap cities, relationships, or careers 100 times, but if you don't change yourself, nothing really changes. Growth is an inside job. Main content. The fourth law of karma is the law of growth. It teaches that transformation begins within us. You can't fix inner chaos by rearranging the outside world. If your heart is restless, no amount of money, status, or control will calm it down. Even Jesus said, "Clean the inside of the cup first, and then the outside will also be clean." The message is clear. Work on your character, your spirit, your mindset, and your life will naturally reflect that progress. The chosen ones understand this truth. They take their struggles as opportunities to sharpen their spirit and build resilience. Every hardship becomes a stepping stone that shapes them into stronger, wiser versions of themselves. But those who ignore their inner growth, they stay stuck, chasing quick fixes, wondering why happiness always feels out of reach. The law of responsibility. Each person is responsible for his own life. Let's be honest. Blaming others is the easiest thing in the world. We point fingers at our boss, our parents, the government, even the weather. But here's the hard truth every American needs to hear. Your life is your responsibility. Nobody's coming to rescue you, and excuses don't pay the bills. Main content. The fifth law of karma is the law of responsibility. It tells us that whatever's happening in our lives, good or bad, we play a part in it. People who mistreat others often avoid accountability. They blame circumstances, destiny, or even the very people they hurt. But denying responsibility doesn't set them free. It only locks them deeper into the same cycles of pain. The Bible reminds us, each of us will give an account of ourselves to God. Responsibility isn't about carrying shame, it's about taking back your power. When you own your choices, you hold the keys to change your future. The chosen ones live by this principle. They don't waste time playing the victim. Instead, they learn, adapt, and grow stronger from every challenge. That ownership makes them unstoppable. But those who refuse responsibility, they remain stuck, prisoners of their own excuses, while life passes them by. The law of connection. Every action is connected and has consequences. You ever toss a rock into a lake and watch the ripples spread? That's exactly how our choices work. Every word, every action, every decision, big or small, sends waves into the world. And sooner or later, those ripples come back to touch us. Nothing we do just disappears. Main content. The sixth law of karma is the law of connection. It teaches that everything in life is woven together. No choice stands alone. What you do today creates tomorrow, whether you realize it or not. People who cause harm often think their actions vanish in the dark, unnoticed and forgotten. But the universe doesn't lose track. Every harmful word, every selfish act is like planting a seed. In time, it grows, and the one who planted it has to face the harvest. Scripture gives us the same wisdom. Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again. The message is clear. What we send out, we meet again. The chosen ones understand this. They see trials and blessings as connected steps on their journey. That awareness helps them walk with purpose, while those who ignore this law often stumble into the very traps they set for others. The law of focus. Energy follows attention. You ever notice how whatever you focus on seems to grow? It's like when you're thinking about buying a new truck, suddenly you see that exact truck everywhere. That's not magic, that's focus. Where your mind goes, your energy flows, and eventually your life follows. Main content. The seventh law of karma is the law of focus. It reminds us that we can't pour our attention into everything at once. When you fixate on tearing others down, all you're really doing is feeding your own misery. You become stuck in a cycle of negativity, replaying the same bitterness over and over. Scripture offers the same wisdom. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, think about such things. In other words, what you choose to dwell on will shape who you become. The chosen ones understand this law. Instead of wasting energy on envy or revenge, they direct their focus toward building dreams, serving others, and nurturing growth. That's why their light shines brighter with time. But those who obsess over harm and jealousy, they end up trapped in their own darkness, circling endlessly around the very pain they keep feeding. Your focus is your power, so choose wisely. The law of giving and hospitality. Actions reveal the true nature. Talk is cheap in America. We all know that. People can say the right words, post inspirational quotes, and act like saints online. But at the end of the day, it's not what comes out of your mouth that defines you. It's what you actually do. Your actions tell the real story. Main content. The eighth law of karma is the law of giving and hospitality. It teaches us that words mean little without action behind them. Someone can claim to be kind, generous, or spiritual, but if their choices are selfish or cruel, their fruit exposes the truth. Jesus himself said, "By their fruits you will recognize them." A person's behavior under pressure shows their true character. Those who choose greed and manipulation may think they're hiding their motives, but in time, their actions reveal who they really are. The chosen ones live differently. Even when tested, they continue to give, sharing kindness, hospitality, and generosity. They don't just talk about love, they show it through the way they treat others. And every act of giving plants blessings that eventually return to them. Those who live selfishly, however, only sow the seeds of their own downfall. Their empty words can't cover the reality their actions reveal. The law of presence. Living in the present makes change. Ever catch yourself replaying mistakes from the past or stressing about what might happen tomorrow? That's the trap most people fall into. But here's the deal. You can't rewrite yesterday, and you don't control tomorrow. The only real power you've got is right here, right now. Main content. The ninth law of karma is the law of presence. It teaches us that life happens in this very moment. When people spend their days stuck in regret or paralyzed by fear of the future, they miss the opportunities sitting in front of them. They waste the only time they actually have, the present. Jesus reminded us of this when he said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Living in the present means making intentional choices today that shape a better future, instead of getting lost in what's already gone or what hasn't arrived yet. The chosen ones understand this law. They stay grounded, making wise moves with the time and resources they have now. That's how they create progress, even in tough seasons. Meanwhile, those who live in the shadows of regret or anxiety remain stuck. They can't change their future because they're too distracted to act in the present. Your power is in this moment. Don't waste it. Ever wonder why you keep running into the same problems over and over? Different job, different relationship, same mess? That's not bad luck. That's a pattern. And here's the truth. Nothing changes until you change. Life will keep throwing the same lesson at you until you finally get it right. Main content. The 10th law of karma is the law of change. It says that life repeats itself until we learn the lesson. If you don't face your mistakes, if you keep making the same choices, the cycle doesn't break. It just shows up in new forms. Scripture speaks to this too. "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" God is always offering us a chance to start fresh, but we have to be willing to step out of the old patterns. The chosen ones recognize when it's time to grow. Instead of repeating the past, they pivot, They rise, they evolve. That's why they create new futures instead of reliving old pain. But those who resist change, they're stuck replaying the same struggles, trapped in loops of their own making, blind to the opportunity of renewal. Change begins with courage, and until we embrace it, history will keep repeating itself. The law of patience and rewards, lasting results. Take time. Here's the thing. We live in a microwave culture. Everybody wants success in 30 seconds, happiness overnight, and results yesterday. But let's be real. Anything worth having takes time. Quick wins fade fast, but real rewards are built through patience and persistence. Main content. The 11th law of karma is the law of patience and reward. It reminds us that lasting results don't come instantly. Just like a farmer doesn't plant seeds today and harvest tomorrow, you can't expect your efforts to bloom without giving them time to grow. Those who chase shortcuts, cheating, manipulating, or hurting others to get ahead may taste quick success, but it never lasts. It slips through their fingers like smoke, leaving them emptier than before. Scripture encourages us with this truth. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Steady faithfulness, not shortcuts, is what produces lasting treasure. The chosen ones understand this. They keep sowing kindness, integrity, and hard work. Even when the results aren't immediate, they know the harvest will come in due season. Those who lack patience, they burn out chasing instant gratification, never experiencing the deeper rewards that only persistence can bring. Patience isn't waiting around, it's trusting the process. The law of meaning and inspiration. Every action has value and impact. Think your actions don't matter? Think again. In America, we love big wins and flashy headlines. But the truth is, even the smallest choice can change a life. A kind word, a helping hand, a simple act of integrity. It all counts. Nothing you do is wasted. Main content. The 12th law of karma is the law of significance and inspiration. It teaches us that every single action carries weight. Whether it's building someone up or tearing someone down, your choices create ripples that extend far beyond what you see in the moment. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others so they may see your good deeds." That means your example can inspire others to rise higher. The chosen ones understand this. By living with faith, kindness, and courage, they become a source of strength, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. Those who choose harm underestimate the impact of their deeds. They believe their cruelty fades into the background, but instead, it drains their influence and casts shadows over their lives. The truth is simple. Your life matters. Your actions matter. And when you choose to shine, you give others permission to do the same. Final message. Everything you do today will shape your tomorrow. Live meaningfully and be patient. Let's cut to the chase. Life isn't random. You don't just toss actions into the wind and hope they disappear. Every choice is recorded, every deed echoes back, and under God's watch, justice always finds its way home. That's not superstition, that's divine order. Main content. Here's the ultimate truth. The universe, guided by God, never forgets. Nothing slips through the cracks. The kindness you show, the love you give, the integrity you live by, it all comes back to you in time as blessings. And the harm, the lies, the cruelty people choose, those seeds grow too, but into bitterness and consequences they can't escape. Scripture puts it plainly. With the measure you use, it will be measured to you. That means the scale of your actions sets the scale of your reward, or your downfall. The universe doesn't play favorites, it simply mirrors back what you put into it. The chosen ones can rest in this promise. Even when wronged, they know justice isn't lost, only delayed until the right moment. So don't ever think your goodness goes unnoticed. Every act of light matters, and in the end, truth always wins. Outro content. The 12 laws of karma remind us that the universe is always keeping balance. So here's the bottom line. Life isn't random, and nothing you do ever disappears. Every thought, word, and action leaves a mark, and under God's design, it all comes back around. That's both a warning and a promise. The 12 laws of karma remind us that the universe is always keeping balance. When we choose love, patience, generosity, and integrity, those choices eventually return as blessings. When we choose hate, envy, or deceit, those seeds grow too, but into consequences that can't be avoided. The good news? You're not powerless. You have the ability to shape your reality, to change your patterns, and to walk in alignment with truth. Each of these laws gives us a roadmap, showing us that humility leads to growth, responsibility creates freedom, patience brings lasting rewards, and every action carries meaning. So don't ever think your kindness is wasted or your light goes unseen. Keep showing up with faith and integrity, because justice may not always be instant, but it is always certain. If this message inspired you, share it, subscribe, and let others find hope in these truths. Remember, your life is the message, and the way you live can inspire generations.